Yeah, there's something else about this. This has been here for a long time, and I haven't really wanted to talk about it because I haven't wanted to give this person any publicity. This, first of all, really, you just gotta stop doing this. These are evil people. And as far as this is concerned, you know, yeah, all right, I did not want to give this person any more publicity. But you should, but this has been happening for such a long time now, you know, and it seems to me this guy probably has political ambitions. You know, I mean, I am not lying about him. I'm certainly not lying. He was my neighbor, in the last apartment that I had, and he and the girlfriend that he got, just did not stop harassing me until they had to move out. He had to move out. I you know, documented what he did, and he had to move out. He would have been evicted if he hadn't moved out, and that's what happened. Apparently, and I don't even know if this is the same person that was in his apartment who would just, she would just sit in his apartment and she would slam his front door all day whenever I was there. She certainly lived there. She certainly lived there. Did not pay rent. Was not on the lease, I don't think. Although, you know, the details of that I'm not entirely sure of. Except I am almost positive that she was just never on the lease. You know, and she just lived there illegally the entire time, and they all just tortured me, absolutely tortured me. I mean, all this unbelievable things happened when I lived in that building, and finally, after trying to deal with it for an entire year, I just, you know, did the right things to document it, and he had to move out. He would have been evicted if he had not moved out. This is the day they decided to get married. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's horrifying. Right? That all people have to do is show up and talk about the fact that, you know, something happened in my past, even if they were the ones who abused me, and then they got all sorts of positive attention, right? And there was all this other stuff that happened, like all of the after I moved out of my apartment, or like all of these search results started showing up on the internet, which just like there were hundreds of them from my name. Just these incredible, like, things that were like sexual references, things that were violent references. You know, I mean, it's and I actually had to contact like cybercrime unit to just to remove them from the internet, right? And so I don't think it's anything I can do to prove at, like, now, years later, that he was the one who was harassing me, all right? And then he got a whole group of friends to do the same thing, because it's years later, right? And they were all lying together, and that's what happened. That really is what happened. No, I mean, there were other things that were happening in that apartment, in that building. You know, it's just, what is it that you want me to say? You know, what is it that you want me to say? I will tell you something. You want to make something out of this guy's life. You know, you want to give him political power. You will get some sort of result from that. You know, but there's well, and I don't know if you will like the result, to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe he will, you know, realize that public eyes are upon him, and he will not do the incredibly dishonest and disgusting, hateful things. You know, he will grow out of that, realizing that people will be wondering who's going to do those things. But the idea, you know, that all someone has to do is say bad things about me, to gain political power, you know, or be some sort of, like, even just we like spend time together, sort of, in a sort of a romantic way for a few months, you know, after he like moved into my building. The person who had been living next to me moved out. He moved in. I was, you know, alone, and there he was, you know, and then we stopped, right? And it was just like chaos. This girl, she was there with, you know, he can get another girlfriend, right? But I couldn't ever, you know, date anybody else, because then he would freak out. That's pretty much the way it was, right? And I'm just not at fault. I'm not at fault, and I'm so tired of this. You know, that's all they ever do is talk, you know, either about things that I actually did wrong, that I couldn't help in my past. Everybody has some sort of past, or situations in which I really was the one who was getting abused. You know, that happens to people. They just get abused. Sometimes. He didn't hit me or any of those things, but he made my life so miserable, and it's still not over. He's still able to do that, right? Because these people have an agenda, right? They want to have sex with kids. They want to, you know, totally torment people whom they consider to be their political enemies in one way or another, right? It's got nothing to do with anything, except, you know, bad people getting to know bad people, right?